yo, it's your boy Joe.
This your boy Greg. We the co-pilots from coast to coast. We do the most. So what's your flight? Whatever it is, we got you covered.
And we back at with you with another dope episode. Episode 108 is in the books tonight, man. How you feeling, Greg?
Hey man, everything good, man. Out here in this cold weather up here, man.
For
Man,
sure.
it's cold up here. I'm up here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was gonna try
What's
to
up?
make a Bucks game, but unfortunately they playing in Cleveland tonight. So
I feel you, man. And Monday night football on as well too right now, man. So I think the Cowboys and the Raiders playing, man.
right.
So man, we're gonna get right into it tonight. We ain't gonna hold you guys up. We'll get on with the show. We're gonna talk a little college football tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was a crazy weekend across the college football landscape, man. You had Aggies coming back from a big win. Florida State got in the win column, bounce back win against a Virginia Tech team. We're gonna talk about a lot here first lately too, with James Franklin might be their new head coach. And as well as Texas and Florida around the college football, Greg. So I'm gonna start off with you, Greg, man. I'm gonna let you take off, man. If it's anything college related, or if you want to just go ahead and just start talking about the Florida State game, man.
I would say, man, the thing is with James Franklin and Virginia Tech, man, you gotta ask yourself this question right here, man. And this is more of a question for James Franklin. Like, do you put yourself in a better situation by going to Virginia Tech? Of course, it's a job. Of course, they're going to pay, but do you put yourself in a better situation? Are you in a better situation at Virginia Tech than you was at Penn State? Now, you can look at it and say, yes, you in the ACC, and it's not as much of it's not that much of a competition in the ACC as it is in the Big Ten, but then on the flip side, at Penn State, it's more notoriety. You get better recruits. You get what I'm saying? It's more of a prestige program. And so I think you have to weigh those options. But and I know it was that Franklin he didn't really have to rush that situation because it's a bunch of teams standing in line that's willing to bring him on ship. So I don't know if it was a move I would have made at Virginia Tech, man, all things considered, because it's not a program that a lot of kids going to, but now we in the days of the transfer portal and NIL. That could change, and he probably could be that coach to turn that program around. We know he's a good coach, but the thing is you have to be able to out recruit your competition.
Well, I will say this with the James Franklin hire, man. I think it's a knockout the park, man. You got a guy that can, is a culture builder there. We seen what he did with Penn State and Vanderbilt before he took the Penn State job. And I think for a school like Virginia Tech, this is a good hire. I mean, this is probably one of the best hires since they had since Frank Beamer. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you look at the grand scheme of things, when you look at uh, this job, I think it's a less pressure job. James Franklin can come, win 9 wins, have a good season every now and again. And I think the fan base will be satisfied. Because right now, clearly, they just want to get back to at least winning football in Virginia Tech. They haven't had that since Frank Beamer retired, honestly.
Right.
So,
It's definitely a win for Virginia Tech, but my thing is it a win for James Franklin? That's the question.
yeah, man. I mean, but I think with a guy like James Franklin, though, I think recruitment, man. If you look at the last couple of years, Penn State has been one of the top teams in recruiting in the Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's a matter of talent not being able to come to Penn State. I mean, not I mean come to Virginia Tech. I just think it's simply a matter of is they going to be able to keep up with the NIL dollars of the Georgias of the world, the Alabamas of the world. You know what I'm saying? Can they keep up with the NIL era? But I mean, right now I feel like that's a job that Florida State should have been trying to get somebody on like that, the likes of a James Franklin. You know what I'm saying? And Virginia Tech, they hopped on it.
Right.
So I mean, Yeah, man. So, and speaking of Virginia Tech game, Virginia Tech, Florida State got the win against Virginia Tech this week, and for me, man, when I look at this Florida State win, I'm glad Florida State won. But if you ask me, was it an impressive win? I mean, a Florida State team in the past, man, we beat this team easily, man. But you got to take your wins how you get your wins these days with Florida State team. This Florida State team.
Right.
So, your thoughts on it, man? Did you get a chance to watch the game? Which what I'm saying, give me outlook, Greg.
No, at that time I was at the airport and I was flying in, so missed a lot of action Saturday. Like I caught parts of the Michigan game, like towards the end of the Texas A&M game. Um, I pretty much called that Alabama and Oklahoma game. I remember I was telling the lady at the bar at the airport. I say, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma pull it off against Bama today. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I said I wouldn't be surprised. Oklahoma's a good dude, is a good team, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is something I noticed, man, with a lot of these teams, man. Like a lot of these teams that paid these coaches these lucrative deals or whatnot, that was unproven, that didn't win a national championship, that broke the bank for these coaches, they have not been successful. Versus, when you bring in a Mike Elko, you know what I'm saying, a Freeman, those type coaches that has been more successful than these coaches that these programs paying a bunch of money to. You know, if let's start with Jimbo Fisher. We know how that ended up with him at Texas A&M, and you look at the coach they have now. They're playing better up under him than they did versus when they had Jimbo Fisher. You know, Notre Dame. Now I'm not saying that Freeman is coaching better than he did with coaching better than Kelly, but the program did not see a drop off. You get what I'm saying? And LSU spent a bunch of money to bring Kelly over there, and they had more success when they had Ed Ogeron. You get what I'm saying? And we can, and you look at the same thing with Lincoln Riley. I mean, what his name? What the coach name that went to UFC? UC.
You talking about Scott Frost?
Lincoln Riley. I said it right. You
Okay,
get what I'm saying? He went to USC. But if you look at what they doing now with Brent Venable, they still a good team. You get what I'm saying? And these coaches you didn't have to pay a lot of money for because these are coaches that are trying to prove themselves. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times, man, it's not always about the big name, the big hire. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, you have to give one of these other coaches a chance. You never know what you're gonna get. You get what I'm saying? Of course,
right,
it's a risk. You always want to go with the more attractive name or whatnot, because it's pretty much more of a safe bet. But we see that it don't always play out the same way, So and that's something I had been noticing in the past few seasons when you look at the coaching carousel in college football.
yeah, man. It is ironically that when you look at these coaches that they have been cycling through, man, I do think at some point the college football coaching circle is gonna bust, man. You just can't keep paying out these coaches like that. But you're right though, man. A&M dog doing an outstanding job. The comeback they came back from, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. Because we was talking about it on the phone. I was like, man, you see South Carolina, they beat A&M, and then I turned the game back on. A&M was winning. But we do got one question in the chat though, Greg, and I don't know if you want to answer this. We got a guy by the name of Zach Sparks 407. He asks, will Vanderbilt make the playoffs?
What is Vanderbilt record?
I think they like I think they lost 3 games so far. Hey, Alexa, could you give me Vanderbilt record for football? Alexa, give me Vanderbilt record for football.
This year, the American football record of the Vanderbilt Commodores is 8-2.
They're 8-2.
8-2.
Yup.
They stand a chance with 2 losses. You know what I'm saying? They stand a because you got to think the ACC is so bad this year. The ACC is so bad.
Yeah,
Then they always going to be campaigning for the SEC schools to get in. You know, they still have a chance with 2 losses.
that's what's up, man. And I think with Texas losing, you know what I'm saying, against Georgia and the way they lost to Georgia pretty bad. It was a blowout, which I think, when you look at a guy like, you know, Manning, Arch Manning, I
By the
think
way,
he
I
has
got a
not.
brand new voice with Alexa Plus.
All right,
Want to hear it?
no,
Just say,
no,
Alexa, can I
no,
hear your new voice?
no. That damn Alexa boy, we want to talk your head off. But like I was saying, man, like Arch Manning right now, I think he's getting better. But like when it comes to like elite, the teams like the Ohio State's, Georgia, when he got to rise up and play top tier talent, he ain't there yet. But I
He's
think
not getting better then.
he got to But I think if he stay another year, which I think he will. You know what I'm saying? I think what I'm saying. He gonna be good to go, man. I think he'll get better. But this year, man, he has not been great, man. He played one good game. I think his best game was like 2 games ago he played, and
Right.
then you know what I'm saying. Like you thought he was gonna start ascending, and then Georgia brought him back down to earth, dog. So I think Texas that might have knocked them out of college playoff. But a team like Vanderbilt, like you said, might be able to get in. Now
Right.
that Texas got 3 losses.
Correct. Man, like man, Art. Thing about Art, man, that was he was one of my Heisman hopefuls or whatnot. And he disappointed like crazy. Especially when you consider the talent that's on this team with Texas and whatnot. And the same thing with Cade, what the dude is, Cade Company, at Clemson. It's the same with him. You got all loaded with all this talent, but it just, for some reason something is not clicking over that program. Though neither program right now. I mean, Texas is probably the better team, but just something not clicking. You get what I'm saying? And they had high expectation when you talking about far as both teams had Heisman hopefuls and both teams had playoff expectations
Yeah.
and didn't live neither lived up to it.
I agree, man. Right now, it look like Aggies quarterback Marcel Reed look like he's the front runner for the Heisman. At least he's one of the guys outside of I think Jose Mendoza for Indiana. I like Jeremiah Love. Which let's talk about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish because you got a lot of Miami fans salty because they feel like Notre Dame, we beat Notre Dame, how they ranked over us and all this other crap. And I look at it like this. Notre Dame, dog, you're going to get a 10-win Notre team, they're going to get in the playoffs. And the way Notre Dame been playing as of lately and the way they start the season off, it's like two night and day teams. And we talked about this before in the past, Greg.
Yeah.
That we think this Notre Dame team right now will beat this Miami team currently constructed. So
Right.
what's your thoughts on that? Because like I said, a lot of Miami fans they in their feelings about that.
I said the same thing a few weeks ago. I think that um Notre Dame as of right now, I think that they can beat Miami. Miami's still a good team, don't get it twisted, but I think the Fighting Irish, man, they have gotten better since that first loss, man, since the week 1. Cause you got to think, man, they quarterback, they were still trying to groom their quarterback. He has gotten better throughout the season. True freshman, and so then you going against a pass rush, man. Like two dudes that we gonna see playing on Sundays and probably next season. So it was a lot for him to go up against a true freshman at quarterback. Now you get what I'm saying. The game, everything's coming to him, everything's coming around. So looking at a better Notre Dame team, right? Because you have better quarterback play. So I'm gonna say this. I think that game could go either way now. You get what I'm saying? I think
Right.
that game can go either way. Notre Dame is a better team. Miami, I still think they are a good team. They get in they own way at times, but you know, still think Miami's a good team.
Yeah, man. I think they is one of the best. one of the best 12 teams in the country. I'm not gonna say and deny that Miami is not one of the top best 12 teams in the country because I think they are. I think they're the best team in the ACC. Talent wise. You know what I'm saying? But again, like you said, man, Miami just do Miami things. I thought this week they played well against NC State. That was like kind of like a trap game. They came out and it was probably the most complete game. From offense to defensive side of the ball, Miami kind of like did their thing. They didn't start off slow. They from start to finish, Miami was doing their thing, man. And I think that again, man, they're gonna need a little luck though. Some of these teams in the front gonna have to lose. Now you had Texas lose this week. I think you might need another, maybe a team like Texas Tech to lose, but I don't know if they're gonna lose any more games. But again, that conference as well, the Big 12, it's no clear cut. Right now Texas Tech look like they're the clear cut, but you got a team like BYU that can sneak in there too if Texas Tech lose. But you're gonna need some guys. I say all that to say, Miami gonna need a little bit of help, man. Florida this week lost as well, and it's like they fighting, man. But I don't know if I see any more wins outside of maybe Florida State on this Florida team roster right now because I think next week they got to go to Tennessee,
Yeah.
and I don't think they're gonna win that game either, man.
I think that game they played this week was I think they were trying to fight over Lane Kiffin, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What it looked like that was the battle over Lane Kiffin. And Ole Miss ain't trying to let them go like that.
I
But yeah,
know.
they got Tennessee this week, man. That's another loss, if we being honest. That's
Yeah,
another
you got a
loss.
guy. You got Tuna No Crest 51 say they will beat Tennessee at home. My bad, bro. I ain't know y'all playing home. Got some Florida fans checking in
They talking about hold on. You
yeah.
talking hold on. He say Florida State gonna beat Tennessee?
No, he say Florida gonna beat Tennessee.
That's what I'm
He
just
didn't say
saying.
Florida.
I got ice him. What's his hey man, what's your drug of choice, man?
Hey, he said, okay, Laney family was from Gainesville on Sunday and in Louisiana today. So he's basically saying that they got Lane Kiffin family. He was there on Sunday, whatever. They think they finna get Lane. You got they
Man,
they
listen.
here talk big shit.
What is your drug of choice, man? You talking about this
Hey,
Tennessee game. What
hey,
is your
Tuna
drug
No
of choice?
Quest, my co-host is asking you, what is your drug of choice? Because he say trees only. That's what he say.
Oh, he on TikTok.
Yeah, he on TikTok. Yeah, he on
Oh,
TikTok right now.
yeah, tell him unfortunately I didn't bring my other camera, so I wasn't able to go on TikTok.
But they can
But
hear you though. They can hear
oh,
you
they can
though.
hear me? Oh,
Yeah, they can
okay,
hear you.
cool. Yeah, dog, that like come on now. Let's be realistic now. You get what I'm saying? Like, what makes you think that y'all gonna beat Tennessee this week?
Yeah, man. We want
I,
to know,
I
man,
want to hear
because
this. I
we
want to
need
hear
to hear
this.
an answer. Hey, trees only, no crust, 51. We want you to respond, man. Hey, you on the chat, bro. You said we want to know your reasons why you think Florida will beat Tennessee. We're gonna give them a chance to reply back. Me personally, man, I just think that Florida right now, man, they're fighting. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you they're competing, but it's just like right now, everything that we thought would come together with this team, it didn't. And DJ Ladway, it starts with DJ Ladway. He has
Correct.
not been the guy that we thought he would be. Heisman runner, front runner. We thought in the defense, dog. And what's so sad about this, dog? Florida got a defense. Like they got a top. I'm gonna say they got a top 15-ish defense in the country. And they wasting it away because DJ Ladway, dog, and the offense and just a lot of other things that come in play, they just couldn't get it didn't fall in their place this year, man.
Right.
He haven't responded back, so I think he kind of know what what it is with this Florida team, man.
That Negro high. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
man. And let me ask you this though, man. Right now with SEC, bro, I have came to my conclusion. I feel like the Texas A&M Aggies are a destined team this year. After they came back from this win, this week, I think they're the best team in the SEC. But we're gonna find out at the end of the year when I think they play Texas.
Yeah. They Texas, that dog. Listen, right? And that was one of the reasons why I was glad Texas went to the SEC because that rivalry game right there, outside of Florida State game, man, That was one of the rivalry games I grew up watching. Texas versus Texas A&M. For some reason, I used to look forward to that rivalry game every season. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Right,
And I'm glad that they renewed that rivalry. It shouldn't have never went away. No matter
right,
what, I don't care what conference you in.
right.
That game should have never went nowhere. You get what I'm saying? I was so glad they brought that back. When it was announced that Texas was going to the SEC, I said, "Oh man, they are going to bring back the Texas and Texas A&M rivalry game."
Hey, so okay, Tuna No Crush 51 just replied back. He said, but I feel like we beat Tennessee because Tennessee doesn't play us very good when we're at home. Our defense shows up like they did this weekend. We definitely beat them.
I'm gonna I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that. Y'all do play them tight at home or whatnot. You know, y'all good for playing a tough game, but I mean, you know, with no coach right now, man, and I just don't see it happening, man. You know, I just don't see it happening. But I do get your logic. You know, if I'm gonna say this right, I'm you know, to somewhat concede with your argument, if I was a Florida fan, I would probably have my hopes up because of that logic as well. You know what I'm saying? A home game, you could possibly pull off the upset. You get what I'm saying? It would be the same. It would be almost if like if we're in that same position playing against a Miami team. You get
Right,
what I'm saying? Even though we just lost, but we know the history of that game. We was playing Miami in Doak, which we just got spanked by them in Doak Camp. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying. So I kind of somewhat understand your logic. I still like Tennessee for the win, but at the same time, I'm not going to. I'm going to take you out of that category as a drug user for your statement, and I'm going to say, yeah, your comment do have some type of logic to it.
he said he put money on it. Hell nah, nah.
Now you,
He laughing. He joke. He just joking. Yeah, he's like
I
he
was,
won't. Yeah, he
I
joking.
was. See, and it did. So he can hear me, can't he?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Oh yeah, cause I was about to get ready to take you out of that category as a drug user, a heavy drug user. Oh, you know. But when you made that cut, you know what I'm saying. Then you made that comment and whatnot. You feel me? But
Right.
you say you were just playing, so okay, yeah, don't bet on that. You know what I'm saying? Just root for your team, root for your team, but don't bet on it. Don't bet on it.
For sure, man. Um, yeah, man. I think this like I say, man, this Florida team. I don't see no more wins. Maybe to the Florida State game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't trust this Florida State team. Uh, it's a week to week basis with me. They
I
got
don't
we
trust nothing in Florida right now.
got. I really don't either, dog. The state of Florida right now, yeah, I agree, bro. I
Only the
totally
best team in Florida in all sports, you have to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't trust nothing in Florida right now, but maybe the Bucks.
yeah, and they lost this week.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it happens.
yeah, for sure, man. You got any more talk on college football talk, man? I'm trying to think of
Yeah,
anything else on college football talk, man.
man, I'm really ready to get my spiel on boxing. Really, you know what I'm saying? You probably ain't
Okay,
watch, but
then.
man, listen.
Well, go ahead, man. I'm gonna let you take off on the boxing thing, man, and talk boxing, and I'm gonna chime in on what a little bit I know. So go ahead and take off,
Oh,
bro.
okay, man. We watched you know, it was pretty much like a rivalry matchup, man. This week, man, you had Chris Eubanks and Conor Ben. And from the first matchup, Chris Eubanks won. And now if you remember when that was the same one Shakur Stevens was going back and forth with on the show or whatnot, when they was talking about going at a catch weight and fighting or whatnot.
Right, I remember that.
So
I see that was on the podcast, right?
listen, yeah. So I think, but now I'm not saying Shakur Stevens ain't like that, but at the same time, he might want to rethink that. I mean, because you look at even in the first fight, right, when Chris Eubanks won, it was a good fight. You know what I'm saying? And we know that Eubanks is the bigger opponent, but they fought at a catch weight. But this rivalry go back to their dads fighting against each other. You know what I'm saying? Then you also had their dads faced off in the weigh-ins and all. You know what I'm saying? They both dads came in while they was at the weigh-ins, did they face off? You know what I'm saying? That while the Connor Ben and Chris Eubanks did their face off, both their dads came and did a face off too. You get what I'm saying? But they shook hands as a sign of mutual respect. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think this when Connor Ben won, that was the first time they was able to beat the Eubanks. I think that was their first victory over them or whatnot. So it, like I say, man, and it's a UK thing or whatnot, and it has a good storyline behind it. It was pretty much like Ali Frazier over there in the UK. It was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? That was
One.
probably their version of Canelo and Bud Crawford or whatnot. When you talk about far as a big fight, that was
Big
their big
fight.
fight.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, but
um, but
boxing though.
I, but I'm into, so I had to catch it and whatnot. So I was mostly on that than football this weekend and whatnot when I did sit down and watch. You know what I'm saying? It was a good fight, man. Conor Ben, man, he got off, man. He did his thing. He did his thing, man. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And you could tell he wanted that fight more, man. He wanted that fight more, man. Um, but like, man, then this week, man, you got oh man, fight card this week lit, man. You got it's David Benavidez versus I think he's fighting Yardy this week for the belt. That's the main event. But you have you got my guy, you know what I'm saying? Abdullah Mason. Fight
Okay.
he's fighting for the belt. It's like four matches for the belt. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Um, but the fight that really everybody's waiting on, you get what I'm saying, is Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr.
Yeah.
That's the co-main event. That
Somebody
is
said, I don't mean to cut you off, Greg. We got KY in here and on TikTok. He say Thurman got a fight coming up too.
Man, Keith Thurman is disappointing me, right, for this here, because I'm seeing Keith Thurman doing all this trolling, right? And his last matchup, right? You get what I'm saying? And this round of time, he was one of the top guys out. He was the spearhead behind the new faces of the super welterweight division. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? He was pretty much the spearhead after beating Danny Garcia. Then he lose to Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? He get destroyed against Manny Pacquiao. And we're not talking about a prime Manny Pacquiao. We're talking about a Manny Pacquiao that was losing fights to, you know, after the Floyd Mayweather fight, he also lost to Juan Marquez prior to that. He lost to a no-name guy overseas. You know what I'm saying? And he had the controversial loss to Timothy Bradley. So then you get destroyed by him. You get not only that you lose, you get destroyed. And we never see you again. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen him boxing for like what, close to 5 years now? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's been a minute, man. It's been a
So
minute.
so now you get what I'm saying, and not only that, you're constantly trolling other fighters. You get what I'm saying? You have no room to troll other fighters when you go out like that. You know what I'm saying? You go out and we don't see you no more. It's different if you constantly still getting in the ring to fight. You can still pop off, but it kind of makes you look like a chump a little bit. You get what I'm saying?
And it seemed like you trolling too.
Yeah, you're doing too much trolling for somebody that's not fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially when we wasn't when we wasn't impressed with your last fight. But yeah though, but man, this is like, man, that Brian Norman and Devin Haney fight, man, that's gonna be the fight to watch. That's David guy right there, man. Devin Haney. That's
Devin Haney.
Devin guy. I think, man, with this fight, man, if I'm a betting guy, I gotta put it on Brian Norman. He's used to the that weight class or whatnot, 147, and power punch or whatnot, athletic or whatnot. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Devin Haney, man, on the other hand, man, I think Devin Haney got a lot to prove. You know, um, and it's for this reason right here, right? And I always talk about this. You had the controversial win against Lomachenko. Then you lose
We both
to
thought he lost that fight
now
though.
now you lose to now although it the you know the it didn't count, but the world witnessed you lose against
Ryan Garcia, right?
Ryan Garcia. The world
Right.
witnessed this. You get what I'm saying? Even though it don't count, we still watch this. You get what I'm saying? Then your last fight after that, it was like pretty much like was a boring fight. Nobody was impressed. You get what I'm saying? Now, granted, we can say it was a tune-up fight. You know what I'm saying? But nobody was impressed with that. So still, all that you still have zero losses on your resume. But from what the world witnessed, you still have a lot to prove. Like most people that had been following you, and especially for the naysayers, they're gonna say they're not impressed with your performance. And like I say, man, I look at it two ways. You know what I'm saying? Devin, even with the controversial win against Lomachenko,
Right.
every fighter has that moment where they have a controversial win where the fans don't think they want that fight. It
Right.
was the same with it was the same. I remember it was the same with Roy Jones before. You get what I'm saying? It was the same with Floyd Mayweather. It's been that way with a lot of fights. You get what I'm saying? It's even
And,
people would argue the same for Muhammad Ali
yeah,
with some of his fights. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
So that, but then after that, the other stuff that piles on it with the loss against Ryan Garcia, you get what I'm saying. So I think he has a lot to prove with this fight. You get what I'm saying? Like this could be big for him if he was to pull it. Like if he was to pull this fight off, it's like that old you can't even bring that up no more. You get what I'm saying? You can't even bring that up no more if he was to pull that off or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And I know like Devin Haney, he don't dodge no smooth. He'll fight anybody. So like like his toughness is not a question for me. You get what I'm saying? But
Right.
as far as like the level of greatness that he put himself on, you get what I'm saying? It still has to be proven to me. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because his last impressive fight, you have to go back to Regis Progress. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Probably,
So you got a guy Kawhi here. He asked, "Is Errol Spence coming back?" That's his question.
I I'm gonna say it was a big debate on that, right? And I think I was listening to Counterbox. I was listening to Counterbox, and I think that's the name of the podcast, right? And it's speculating that he is looking for a fight. They say, well, I'm gonna say this. By how he's carrying himself, he's looking for a fight. Most people
I
think
thought he
that
was
he
trying to
should
fight
get
one
it.
of the Charlo twins.
Nah, they trying to push that, but he was supposed to fight. They was bringing up Ortiz or whatnot after he beat man, what's my other guy, man, Erickson Lubin. After he beat him, they was saying that was, and he supposed to have called boots out and everything like that there, Ortiz, but they was speculating like that probably is going to be the next fight or whatnot. I guess at one point it was like kind of sort of official, but then they kind of like pushed it on the back burner. But most think that Earl Spence should get a tune-up fight first. And I think so too. I think he should have a tune-up fight. You haven't fought in like, close to 3 years. No, I wouldn't even
Yeah,
say 3 years. It's been like two and a half. He haven't fought in
yeah,
like two
man.
and a half years.
I mean,
You
I
know what I'm
think Earl
saying?
do deserve that fight, man. The tune-up fight. I think a fight. Another question a lot of people asking too is about Tank and Lamont Roach. That's another question that came up in there too. And then
This
another question was, I'm gonna talk about that. Then I'm gonna let you answer both. Is Boots and Spence will can that be a good fight? And I'll let you answer both.
okay with Boots and Spence. Boots pretty much done moved up in weight, but I think Spence is moving up as well. You get what I'm saying? You pretty much got to see Spence after a tune-up fight, man. Now Spence that I remember before Terrence Crawford, yes, that definitely be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? That definitely be a good fight. Cause we forget, like, and this is what I hate when people you were saying, but prior to the Canelo win, that they were saying, oh, Crawford never fought nobody. Like, y'all forgot who Errol Spence was, man. Who he
Right,
is. I'm not gonna say who he was. Y'all forgetting who Errol Spence is. You get what I'm saying? Like, you talking about dog knocking dudes out in the second and third round. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember watching Errol Spence, man, when he was up and coming in the ranks. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So yeah, but I think that it could be, but you have to allow Errol Spence to get his momentum back. You know what I'm saying? You want to see both of them at their best, not Errol Spence just coming back, you know, just to fight because he think no, let him get a tune-up fight first. Then we can say we looking at a matchup.
I agree,
Um,
man.
what
And
they was saying about Tank Davis?
now
What he was
there was
asking?
Kawhi asked. He said he was asked about the Lamont Roach Tank Davis fight, and you know what I'm saying?
This
That's a fight that people want to see.
Yeah, yes, people definitely want to see that because like I say, a lot of people feel that Lamont Roach won that.
That's what he just said.
I
That's
thought
what Zach
Lamont,
said.
yeah, I thought Lamont Roach won that fight as well. This the thing, right? And it's something I'm just finding out. You know, Tank was finna take the fight with
Jay Paul, right?
Jake Paul, not because he's scared of Roach, contrary to what a lot of people think. Not because he's scared of Lamont Roach and nothing like that. You get what I'm saying? But people have to understand it's politics and it's like it's only so many fights that Tank can get because all the fighters are going to Riyadh season. You know what I'm saying? With Turkey Al Sheikh. This is where the money at. Tank pretty much stayed with, I think what he's under. I think Al Heyman, don't quote me
Amy,
on
yeah,
it. So
yeah. Them
Tank,
boys, yeah.
Tank, Tank stand up under him because of his loyalty. You get what I'm saying? Even though a lot of fighters are jumping ship, in which Turkey Al Sheikh tried to get him to sign, but at the same time, Tank is being, out of him being loyal, he chose to stay where he was at. And what that does is because of this new wave that's happening, this shift, it pretty much limit the fights that you're able to fight. You get what I'm saying? So, and I guess like for the money, the best fight he going to be able to get was against Jake Paul, which we know if you are a true boxer or a boxer fan, that's pretty much it's like a circus show. You know what I'm saying? So now the fight was called off. And this is something that I learned too. Now, this could be speculation and everything like that. The people feel as though Jake Paul fights are staged. This is what people say. They are saying that his fights are staged or whatnot. And because Tank Davis stated to him, I'm not going by no script and everything, like pretty much when I come in, I'm coming for your head. You know what I'm saying? None of this play foolishness. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
with that, he was like, the fight got called off. He was, look for something, and Tank pretty much gave him the ammunition that he needed. He called the fight off. So now it don't look as if Jake Paul is ducking, because you have to look at it like this, right? Um, and I'm going somewhere with this, right? Okay, with the fight set up with Jake Paul and Tank, that's pretty much like a clown show. You get what I'm saying? That people look at, because no, no way, you know what I'm saying, the real boxing community is going to allow Tank to lose that fight. You get what I'm saying? Now, not to mention, Jake has to protect his brand. He's a YouTube sensation. He has a brand as well. But at the same time, Tank is pretty much fighting for the brand of boxing. You have to protect the integrity of boxing. You know what I'm saying? You pretty much protecting that. You get what I'm saying? Like, if even though that Jake Paul is in a higher weight, a bigger weight class, if Tank was to lose to Jake Paul, it pretty much compromise the integrity of boxing. You get what I'm saying? Now, Jake Paul, on the other hand, if he was to lose against Tank, his fan base and the naysayers, you know what I'm saying, his naysayers going to look at it like this here. Man, I told you you in the we out your league over here. You get what I'm saying?
Is
So
everybody saying that because
he's compromising his brand. Now, fast forward now, they say that this fight is now official because Jake Paul got that contract with Netflix. Now, his fight now is with Anthony Joshua now. You get what I'm saying? I think it's official though. Don't quote me. I think it's official though. Now, with that, let's just say if it's scripted, whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? Now, we know that Anthony Joshua's going to win this fight. He's a better fighter. You get what I'm saying? With him losing this fight, you know what I'm saying? The integrity of boxing, still, you know what I'm saying, is still protected, and also Jake Paul brand do not take a nosedive because they're going to look at it as like, you expect him to lose to Anthony Joshua. At least he tried. You get what I'm saying? Because that's his weight class versus him losing to somebody like Tank. You know what I'm saying? If you lose to Tank, your brand take a nosedive. But if you lose to Anthony Joshua, you know what I'm saying? You don't lose cool points for that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that shift was better for his brand by doing that. I would say it probably was a calculated. It probably could be some truth to what they were saying about with the scripted fights and everything like that. You know what I'm saying?
you got a couple people in here feel like that Jake Paul was scared to fight him. Um, Also, too, so we got another. People said Fimo and Shakur should fight. Keyshawn. He say he also like Keyshawn David too.
Keyshawn
So
Davis. Keyshawn
yeah,
Davis got to get that trouble up off him, man. Keyshawn Davis. This is the thing with Keyshawn, right? You know, Keyshawn at the top right now, but unfortunately, the belt that he had, you know what I'm saying, my guy, Medulla Mason, he finna fight for it. You get what I'm saying? Now, I think Keyshawn Davis is finna move up in weight. I think he's gonna go up to 147. You get what I'm saying? So you definitely could see him fight. You may be able to see him fight like the likes of Brian Norman Jr. or Devin Haney, one of those guys, because he's finna move up.
he said
Well,
move.
it's speculating though.
Okay.
What they asked, it was another question they asked too.
Uh, I said Jake. They say Jake got scared. As one person
Oh yeah,
said, Jake
oh
got
yeah, yeah.
scared. Um, I think also too. I mean, just for my personal, when you look at you, my give my take. You were saying something about, Jake Paul. It won't take as bad of a brand if he lose to Joshua. I disagree because I think it's gonna take a brand. If he lose to any professional boxer, I feel like his shit gonna take a hit because you've been making a living off washed up boxers that went in their prime, UFC fighters, and when the one fight you did fight against Fury brother, you lost. I don't know if you remember that fight, that little expedition fight when he fought against was it Tommy Fury or some shit like that? He didn't look that great. And Jake Paul say that he's still trying to schedule a rematch or get that fight that he running. I don't know, man. I just think that if he lose, he got to win this fight, bro.
But see,
But if
you
the
got
fight's scripted though, then
see,
validity
you
of
got.
watching it make me like, man, why even bother watching it?
This is why he don't have to lose this fight, and this is why you got to think that most Jake Paul fans are not avid boxing fans. You get what I'm saying? So there, a lot of people that want these type of fights, they're not real boxing fans. They're pretty much coming to see a face. It's not all the way about the matchup, a good fight and everything. They pretty much that fighter, that's the only reason they're watching. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's like when when Michael Jordan was playing basketball, or Kobe or LeBron, they'll watch basketball just to see. But when Michael Jordan retired, they stopped watching basketball because they wasn't true boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? So his fan base is not looking, if he, they just coming to see him. His brand is going to be his brand or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? After he fight him, he's still gonna go out there and knock some more amateurs out and everything like that there, or some other dudes, maybe script a few more fights or whatnot. But like I say now, I would say with them bringing up saying that his fights being scripted, that can destroy his brand itself or whatnot. The cat being out the bag. Now I'm gonna say this, don't quote. I don't know if it's scripted or not, but this is what the talks has been. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I read that too. I read that too. I mean, you ain't the first. I read that. Matter of fact, when we was talking about the Anthony Joshua fight around that, and I was reading that then that they were saying that some of his fights might have been scripted, but that was one of the reasons why like you were saying early on that Tank was like, nah, I'm gonna really fight. Then
Right.
the allegations came out about the domestic violence and all that crap, and you know what I'm saying? The Lee Aggies of that. But, I think at the end of the day, man, people just really want to see a good fight, man. In the sport of boxing right now, man, with Real season taking over, man, I think that we're gonna get a lot more of those fights that we want to see moving forward because they got buku bread. So cats that usually wouldn't fight, they know the money right. I'll take any fight right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take the right, but you
Right.
know, man, I like what Real season doing, man. I really do, man. I do, right, and I think hopefully Tank and those guys can get some level with Al Heyman because I'm pretty sure, like you said, his loyalty and everything like that, that he got to get a piece of the pie too. That he want a piece
Right.
of that, So, but yeah, man. Any final thoughts on boxing, bro?
Nah, I think we might have drawn that so far.
Man, but he had people
I got
asking that. They was asking the questions. Okay, it's one
yeah.
more. You
What
got
you?
one
It's
more
another one.
question. Why?
What he want? What he talking about?
You say Thurman leave a hard fight with all the boxes for got his name, that got his name or whatever. I don't know what he mean by that.
Hold on.
Read
Yeah,
it again. Thurman have a hard fight with a tall boxer that got his name. Basically saying he struggled with tall boxers.
Oh yeah, you man. Listen, yeah, you definitely had like when I used to wrestle, I used to struggle against dudes that had longer reach than me though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was something I know. It just because they arms are so long, so it was easier for them to lock. You know what I'm saying? There to lock their hand. You know what I'm saying? I used to
Right.
struggle against that, man. You know what I'm saying? With taller arm wrestlers or whatnot when I wrestled in high school.
Okay. Okay, then. So let's say it went into some NFL talk then, man. We got some people that's been waiting on us to talk NFL talk. You know what I'm saying? Uh let's talk about our beloved Jazz, man. We gonna start there, man. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get him. Matter of fact, I want to get him an honorary clap today. Oh, my bad. Close that out. Honorary clap. Round of applause. That was this week. You know, dominating in dominating fashion, 35-6. Matter of fact, I got the wrong banner up. Um, and I thought that this was probably the most complete game they played all season, bro. From defensive side of the ball, offensively, uh, Trevor Lawrence he didn't stink up the joint too much.
Car
Uh, you know, I
took
mean,
that ball out of his hand. That's why.
but I thought it was a complete act, a complete game, and to salute to the defense, bro. Because when you think about it, though, bro, like man, I mean, the defense played good. We got a lot of injuries, man, and they stepped up, man. So salute, man. Thoughts, Greg?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that helped was it was the pass rush, man. Um, Justin Herbert only had what 81 yards. And we
Right,
talking about, we talking about somebody, a team that had been playing, um, MVP caliber football. You get what I'm saying?
right. Because they was hyping them
So
up.
yeah, so they were, this team had been playing good, man. So let's say, man, I think that like I say, man, we beat two good teams this year, by the way, too, man. The Chiefs and we beat the Chargers. So that was
49ers
dang,
too.
we may sweep they whole god doggone we still
Division.
got yeah, we gotta play Denver still. I just thought about that. But those were two good quality wins, man, at the crib, man, this year for us, man. I was telling somebody before that game, right? I was like, man, with the Chargers and whatnot, right? I say, now, if I had to bet on, I say I would not bet with the Jags, but I also went bet against them for this reason right here.
What's up?
I say, man, I think that we're going to be to the Chargers the same way we are to the Pittsburgh Steelers. No matter how good the Pittsburgh Steelers are, we're always going to be a thorn in their side. You know what I'm saying? You can't get rid of us. You got to play hard against us. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
And we have beaten the Chargers, I want to say, the last, what, 3, 4 times we have played them. And remember, we used to struggle against teams on the West Coast, man, like
right,
bad. So you got to think, we went out, what I'm saying, out west and beat them, a few
right.
years back. The same year that we beat them in the playoffs. And it was a comeback victory in the playoffs or whatnot. And so, like I say, man, and you got to look at, man, we blowed them out west, and we blowed them out here too as well. Um, Yeah, it was crazy, man. It we that was impressive victory right there, man. Um, damn, Trevor got it. Never mind. Trevor got some work,
Bro,
man.
I think Trevor got to play better, man. We know that. We got some
God, God.
Steelers fans in this motherfucker right now, man. They talking Steelers. Uh, and I want to do bring up that conversation. The Steelers did get the win this over the course of the weekend, but it was a little controversy in that game. Jamar Chase spit on Ramsey. It was a very, the league just suspended Jamar Chase because he lied. And I don't know why he lied. We got all them damn cameras. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's like Steelers got the win. Right now they sitting at 6-4 in the AFC North. I think the Ravens might be on their neck right now, but I don't know. But what's your thoughts on that game in that situation, Greg?
Talking about with Ramsey.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I was sure you talking about the gloves coming off, man. You talking about you finna spit on me? Yeah, man. I'm finna punch you right in your mouth, man. Where that spit just came from, man. You know what I'm saying?
right.
They, it's gonna be, man. Listen, man. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get suspended after that game. You know what I'm saying? You spit on me, and that's just what it is. I mean, like I say, man, trash talk is trash talk. It should never come to where you feel like it come to that from, what I'm saying, just because you're losing or whatever. I don't care how frustrated you is. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I was taught, man. My grandma always raised me on this. You don't spit on nobody, you don't put your feet on nobody. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that just spit on that was a sign of disrespect, man. You keep your bodily fluids to yourself.
I agree, man. It was very out of place. But it's crazy though, man. You notice though, like it's been a trend in the NFL as of lately. Though a lot of guys been spitting on each other. First game of the season, Jalen Carter spit at Dak Prescott, or Dak Prescott. At least, like I don't know, like this spitting shit has been coming a phenomenon. I don't know if you noticed that, but maybe it's this generation of athletes that feel like spitting is cool, but it never has
Like
been cool.
you had it, you
Saying
had it
dog,
back in the day when T.O. spit on D'Angelo Hall.
yeah, I forgot
Um,
all about that one, dog. Damn, I
not
forgot all about that
not
one.
only not only that, God bless his dead. Sean Taylor. He spit on a player. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
forgot that too. Damn, I
Yes.
forgot that. Yeah, man.
So you done
He
had
brought up some moments, man. Yeah, but it's never been cool. It's never been cool, bro. Uh, it's one of those things, though, man. The another team that's been surprisingly good, and people ain't really talking about it's Chicago Bears. They sitting at 7-3 in the
wow.
AFC North now, dog. And like with the Lions losing last night, they sit in first place in the AFC North. I didn't think nobody expected that at almost at the half, almost in the stretch end of the season, and we talking about Chicago Bears might win the NFC North.
Mhm.
We thought the Detroit Lions would run away with this division, but lately, this Lions team I still think is a playoff team, but they have been struggling. So what's your thoughts on that, Greg?
Yeah, that's you know what I didn't think about that until you just said something. I knew they was over 500 and they was playing. They was playing good. But you got to think that's pretty impressive, man. A second year quarterback, his first year in a new system with Ben Johnson. Yeah, that's pretty impressive, man. Like I say, man, Caleb Williams, he always showed that he can play. He had skills or whatnot. You know, um, in spite of the mistakes may have made in his first season, but the main thing was that O line.
Yeah, man, and I think
Getting that O
Ben,
line.
these guys playing good. Me personally, we're gonna see what this team sit at next week. I got a Steeler fan in here that said that they play the Bears next week, so this will be a good test, a measuring stick for this team to see if they really legit or not. You know what I'm saying? First place team. Let's see what you can do, man. And if they can pull this win out, man, maybe the Bears will start making me a believer. But right now, I kind of feel like the Bears just caught teams at the right time. I still think there's some holes in this Bears team. Just watching them play, they play like the Jaguars a little bit. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, they beat themselves a lot. You know what I'm saying? They don't play clean games. You know what I'm saying? But Bears sitting at 73, dog, fucked me up too. I watching and they won. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing their thing, bro. So, got salute, tip my hat to the Bears, man. But another game to check out, man. I thought that Bills Buck game was an interesting game yesterday. Bills did get the win. The Bucks. I think the injuries are starting to catch up with them, man. At the wide receiver position, dog. Baker Mayfield he's trying to win every game. Not saying that he can't, because I feel like Baker Mayfield right now is playing like a top 5 quarterback in the league. You know what I'm saying? But with the injuries, man, I think it's starting to catch up with him right now, man. But thoughts, Greg?
Um, Injuries always, play a part in the team or whatnot, man. Like I said, man, it's still, a lot of season left or whatnot, man. But like I said, if it's any team that I trust in the state of Florida, it is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, man. Tampa Bay, I think they just right now, organization wise, when you look at Miami, look at Jacksonville, the two other franchises, we still trying to figure it out. But the Bucks, they figured it out down there from the front office, GM. They got everything in place. And even when they do have these little slide type of games, the Bucks seem to bounce back, man. And I think they playing good. Another team that people are sleeping on too, surprisingly, they got a winning record right now, sitting at 6-5, I believe, is the Carolina Panthers. I believe sitting at 6-5 or 6-4 or something like that.
Yeah, they
And
they overpowering.
they just beat the Falcons, man. On Sunday, man. 5-game losing streak for the Falcons, man. That seat is heating up for Raheem Morris, man. I
Michael,
hate to say it for the brother, man.
yeah, Michael Penix, he out for the season. I think he like knee injury or something like that.
Yeah, he got hurt for the season.
Yeah.
We got another question in here, man. On football side, say, can the coach keep winning?
I'm gonna say this, man. As long as Jonathan Taylor continue to run that ball like he's doing, yes, they can keep winning. But at the same time, and they also powered up. You got to think, man. They also powered up. But at the same time, the coach, their schedule do get harder. You know what I'm saying? I still don't have them as a team that's gonna win it all this year. That's gonna win the AFC. Not saying that they can't. I
You
just,
got to see
I
more.
it's more, yeah, it's more teams that's proven to me. You get what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
think
and that's
because
my thing with the coach too, bro. Is like, because some of the teams that the Jaguars already played, they got to play them now. You know what I'm saying? And now you playing the Chiefs team, like they got them after the bye. So I think coach on the bye this week. come off the bye. Either they play them, they was on the bye this week, whatever. They got to play the Chiefs next. And I think, this Chiefs team fighting for playoff desperation, they're going to come out playing hard. I think right now, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are in a good position where we can catch them. If we can win out the next 3 games, they're very winnable games. We knocked off the Chargers. Now we got to beat the Cardinals, and if we can beat the Titans the first time around, then we play the Colts. You know what I'm saying? I think we got a shot, but you got to take care of business. But the Colts, man, like I say, man, they got some hard games on their schedule left, and I think you know we can catch them and win the division. But it's gonna be a hard task though, because now you got the goddamn the Texans. They on our ass now, sitting at 5-5.
Right.
So yeah, man. It's starting to heat up a little bit on the NFL side. Playoff. A lot of these games are starting to matter now, man.
Right.
So let's. I don't know if you've been watching a little basketball. Not if you have been watching it, man. I do want to talk a little bit of NBA tonight, man. So you know, started NBA season. We know it's on the way. But one thing I do like about what the NBA is doing this year is they playing all the tournament games on Friday nights, man. And it's pretty dope the way they do the courts and everything. Orlando Magic got a win on the tournament side for the Remy's Cup, whatever they call it, Emirates Cup. But a guy that was hooping on Friday night as well was goddamn Cat, man. Cat was balling on Friday night with the Knicks, man. I thought Cat played an extremely well game. It's probably the best Cat game I've seen in a long time. He was shooting the three, inside game going, and I like what Mike Brown doing over there with the New York Knicks. Can he be the piece to finally get the Knicks over? Which I do still think that they did your boy Tibbs wrong, man. My teams are the Clippers and the Spurs. Man, the Spurs been playing good, man. Wembley is playing on an MVP caliber level. And you can see he put the work in this offseason and it's showing, man. Like Wembley looking good, San Antonio looking good, and they look like one of the best teams in the Western Conference right now.
He said his team, the Clippers and the Spurs.
Clippers and the Spurs,
How
yep.
you like the Clippers and the Spurs? Like how like
Explain that, yeah, man. Kawhi, explain that, bro. You say how you like the Clippers and the Spurs, bro? Go
you
ahead, my
must be
bad.
like players or something. It ain't Kawhi, like
Yeah,
you,
man.
you
That
like
way he put it in the chat. He said, I like the Clippers and the Spurs. I say, okay. I know
nigga
my cousin
name
like one of the biggest Spurs fan,
that
but
nigga named Kawhi Duncan. That nigga named Kawhi Duncan. That nigga
no,
like
you
Clippers.
said you right, Greg. You said cousin Kawhi.
I figured that. I say did he talking about his name, what his name is or whatnot?
Yep.
What did he say his name is?
I call him Kawhi because it's spelled kind of like Kawhi.
I'm gonna
In the
call him
sense of,
Kawhi. That's his new. Hey, that's your new name, Kawhi Duncan. That's your new
yeah,
name.
Kawhi Duncan. Hell nah.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
yeah, man, the Spurs been hooping this year, man. Now your boy Draymond, got to talk about him because Draymond called out your boy Dak. Not sure you heard that like last week or something like that. He
Oh yeah.
called him a bum.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, but
He cleared it up though. He was like not saying like he can't play, but he's not. I kind of understood what he was saying. It's kind of like how conversations be with certain players. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like, dang, Trey. You know when you're a professional, you don't use those type of words or whatnot. It get taken differently versus the average Joe like me and you saying it versus another professional. You
right.
know what I'm saying?
I got what you're saying. I will say this though too, but keeping Draymond in the top of the discussion, he went off on some players. He went off on Jonathan Kaminga and a couple other Warrior players saying that they got to step up. And he took a lot of backlash because they like, bro, how you gonna tell people to step up? Like, bro, you only know what I'm saying, average what, like 5 points a game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Like, bro, you telling us to step up, like motherfucker, you step up, like in a sense. And my thing is with that is Draymond got a specific role that he's gonna fill. His role might look different from Kaminga role. His role might look different from other players. So it's like you might not like the way Draymond called players out, but he is the leader of one of the emotional leaders on that team, though.
And you also got to understand this here. Guys like Jonathan Kaminga, you know what I'm saying? You got picked in the first round. The organization is expecting a lot at you. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, so when a player tell you have to step up, you get what I'm saying? One of the leaders of the team, the glue piece, yes, you definitely have to step up. You get what I'm saying? See, I don't get caught up in the points, the lack of points that Draymond had, because Draymond is the glue to this team. You get what I'm saying? Draymond is what a lot of people lack on their team that didn't win national championships. You get what I'm saying? You know, a lot of he was what like when I brought up when I did the video when I was talking about Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, out of all these teams, the things that he was lacking on these teams and whatnot. You know, but Draymond, he just so happy he can do it all. You get what I'm saying? He's one of those guys that's on the court that can do it all.
Right.
And so yeah, I sometimes, man, the criticism be warranted, man. You get what I'm saying? Now, would I do it in a press conference in front of everybody? No, that's something that, in between the locker rooms or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But yes, you do have to, like, you have to say, yeah, those guys do have to got to step up. You got to think. You looking at players that are used to playing championship basketball. You get what I'm saying? They're playing all season long. A championship caliber team. You
Right.
know, you got to think. They let go Klay Thompson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And kept some of these guys and whatnot. They let go Klay Thompson. So yeah, y'all, man, when you let go one of the regardless of how old you get, cause I'm gonna look at it like this here. If I'm Draymond, for what y'all doing, I could have kept Klay Thompson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that chemistry be there. I'd rather lose with somebody I don't fought hard battles with and won, and we just at the end and we lose.
And playing ball in this year as well. I haven't really watched Denver that much this year, this season, man. I'm trying to follow it. Ja Morant, they talking about he might get traded, because he might be out of Memphis, but I don't know if he's gonna actually get dealt. Gilbert Arenas was like on his podcast, he was saying he think if I'm the Lakers, I'll trade LeBron for Ja right now. I mean, he at the end of his career, like fuck it, like LeBron expendable this year, dog, pretty much. So it's like I don't know if Ja gonna last. They saying he could end up in Houston as well. We'll see. That's gonna be something we'll be monitoring all season. What Ja Morant land at this year, dog? Because I don't
Right,
know if you had watched what he said in the when and talking to the people in the locker room. He was like, "Go ask my coach why I wasn't in." And he
right,
put the coach on blast, and then he was out. I think he was warming up or something, and something with the fans, and I don't know, man. It's just a lot going on with Ja, man.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, as I don't say, they think it's time for Lee Memphis, man. So, any other final thoughts on NBA, man? We can say it way to the rivals and the parts if you want to do that.
Yeah, we go ahead.
So, man, we're gonna head way into our rivals and departures, man. And I don't know if you want to take off Greg first. I'll let you take off if you want to.
Yeah, arrivals, man. My first was going to be Connor Ben. Ended up getting the winning the match against you, Chris Eubanks. It was a good fight this weekend, so I got to give it to him. And also, man, I got to give it to Josh Hines Allen, man. He became all sack leader for the franchise. And I think it's well deserved because you're talking about a player that, when it's all said and done, that he is one of the players that he is a true Jaguar. You know what I'm saying? When you play your rookie contract, then you get your extension, and you play the length of years for our franchise that he's played. You are a true Jaguar. You know what I'm saying? Like the likes of players like Fred Taylor, Mercedes Lewis, of course. Brad Meester, you know what I'm saying? Jimmy Smith, these guys that played years for the franchise and whatnot. So
Mhm.
I think it's well deserved, man. So shouts out to Josh Hines Allen as well.
I'm gonna give a shout out on my arrivals today, man. I'm gonna give a rival shout out to uh as much as I hate to give it to him, I'm gonna give it to the Florida State Seminoles, man. On a bounce back win. They didn't play, to my standard, but to get them more closer to bowl eligible, man. He's sitting at 5-5. Got some, maybe we can win this Florida game and get the 6-6, or finish the season with a 6-6 record. We can go bowl. But I still want to see my Florida State team make it to a bowl game. I think a bounce back, even though it won't be about nothing. But I'm gonna give my rivals this week. Florida State, one more club step to being bowl eligible. So that's my rivals. As far as go ahead, the departures. My bad.
My departure is going to be this, and I started to bring this up to you earlier, but I didn't. I wanted to wait till the show so the response can be authentic. What the hell is Pat-Man Jones talking about, man? Talking
Oh
about
man,
Steve Smith with Steve Smith, man. I gotta get for that comment. My depart, it gotta be Pat-Man. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Listen, from the comment he made about Steve Smith, like Steve Smith went that guy, like, dude, were we watching the same game? He has to be talking about the Steve Smith that played for the Carolina Panthers. I mean, he has to be talking about the Steve Smith that played for the New York Giants. That got to be the Steve Smith he thinking about. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
it
Because
did happen. But
the one that played for the Carolina Panthers, man, this dude was a dog, man. He said man, I don't know what he was talking about. He went on. Then he said he was Anquan Bolden. Like, do you forget how good Anquan Bolden was, man? You get what I'm saying? Like,
right.
the take he made absolutely zero sense. I don't know if he got some type of smoke with Steve Smith. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't got a dog in the fight, but I watched Steve Smith play. You know what I'm saying? Dog, that dude was man. When he was there, that dude was the Carolina Panthers. He was the best player on their team. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, man. And when I saw that come across my timeline, I had to post it because I'm like, where did this beef come out of nowhere? Because I've never heard Steve Smith talk bad about Pat-Man, and I watch he got a podcast too, and I've never heard him say anything bad. And he kind of stick to like wide receivers, like he's strictly like a wide receiver podcast. He talks about the wideouts, and that's why I don't know where this beef came from. It came out of nowhere, and so I was shocked just as well, Greg, when I seen it too, bro.
Yeah.
Um, my departures this week, man, is gotta give it to Jim Harbaugh, man. You got out coached this week by Liam Cohen, man. I mean, you got out coached. And I think, and I said this, now I'll be dropping the full video of the live reactions of the game. I don't know if you checked it out, but I think I dropped 2 today already. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna drop the full reaction video. I'm gonna try to get that out tonight, if not sometime tomorrow.
Right.
But I gotta give it to Jim Harbaugh, because I thought his team would come out better than that. Knowing everything that has happened with Justin Herbert coming into this stadium, the comeback, you know what I'm saying? Every time he's played Trevor Lawrence, he's 0-3. Surprisingly, he can't beat Trevor, and it's crazy that that stat is, Trevor got that stat on the Chargers, and I just thought that Jim Harbaugh would have his team better prepared. And I think everybody, Jaguar fans across the world today, wasn't expecting a thumping like that from the Chargers, man. So I got to give my departure to Jim Harbaugh. Give
Right.
it. So, man, this concludes episode 108 of the Co-Pilots Podcast. Greg, any final thoughts before we head out today, Bob?
Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody rocking out with us, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, man, it's been a long day from your boy. I had to catch 2 flights and whatnot. I am tired like a mug. But appreciate everybody for rocking out with us, man. Appreciate the love and support.
And check us out, man. All our social media is in the description of this live stream. So check us out, man. It'll be on all social media platforms as far as streaming wise in the next couple days, man. So check us out. If you missed parts of the show tonight, you'll be able to catch it on Spotify, Apple, all your streaming platforms for the rest of the show, man. So it's your boy Joe,
This your boy Greg.
and I'm out. Peace.
Yo.